Good morning, student. In continuation to our chapter ECA bridges, we have completed the measurement of capacitance in our previous lecture, where we have studied about high voltage sharing bridge. Now in this chapter we will start our next topic, which is measurement of mutual inductance. In this we will study about 4 AC bridges for the mutual inductance measurement. Uses of mutual inductance in an AC bridge will be like very much. Variety of purpose of mutual inductance is there. Our known mutual inductance are used in some circuit for the measurement of unknown mutual inductance. Our variable mutual inductance have been used as a component in other bridges for the measurement of self-inductance, capacitance and frequency. The deviation of the balance equation requires a different method when we have a mutual coupling between the arms. So we have a different kind of method for finding a mutual inductance. The simplest method of finding a mutual inductance is by a connection of a coil. Here mutual inductance measured as in terms of self inductance. So here we have taken a two coil 1 and coil 2. Flux between this L1 is phi 1 and flux in this L2 is phi 2. Now the connection is like this, कि both the fluxes are in same direction. So this is a additive magnetic field. So both the two coils flux will be get in addition. So the effective inductance will be equals to L1 plus L2 plus 2M. That is a mutual inductance between both the two coils. Now if the connection of one of the coil is reversed, the flux get opposed to the F1 phi 1. So the effective inductance of this part B will equals to L E2 is equals to L1 plus L2 minus of 2M. Now by subtracting the equation 30th and 31st, we will get the mutual inductance is equals to 1/4 of the self inductance measured with series additive nature and series subtractive connection. So this method is desirable only for fairly high coupling between the coils. Otherwise the accuracy of this method is poor because subtraction quantity is nearly very less, so exact value of mutual inductance cannot be found, and this is the kind of direct finding of a mutual inductance by using the connections of a coil. Now coming to the Heaviside bridge as a part of measurement of mutual inductance. This bridge measures the mutual inductance in terms of known self-inductance. The same bridge, slightly modified, was used as a Campbell to measure the self-inductance in terms of known mutual inductance. So we will study about Campbell's modification of Heaviside bridge in next lecture. Here it's a Heaviside bridge circuit diagram. Here M is an unknown mutual inductance. L1 is self-inductance of the secondary of mutual inductance. L2 is a known self-inductance. R1, R2, R4 and R3 are known quantities and non-inductive resistors. Now coming to the vector diagram of this Heaviside mutual inductance bridge, we will have our I1 as a reference. In this same phase we will have our I1 R1, and our I1 R1 is equal to the potential drop V1 the potential drop across this I1 R1 will be equal to our I2 R2, and the potential drop across this I1 this R3 will be equals to I1 R3, and which will be equals to our I2 R4. At the bridge balance condition, our current in this arm will be equals to this arm, so we have taken I1 in this BC arm also, and similarly we have taken I2 in arm DC also. So here we have I1 R1 is equals to I2 R2, and slightly away from it we will have I1 R3 is equals to I2 R4. Basically this voltage is our V3, which is equals to V4. For finding V1, we will have from this 90-degree lead, we will have I1 omega L1. In same phase, we will have I1 plus I2 whole bracket omega M, which is a mutual inductance. So this point is our V1 and this point is V3. So the resultant of this V1 and V3, we will get our E. The vector diagram of this is very much easier. Now coming to the bridge balance condition. In this case, we will take two conditions. First, that the voltage drop across this arm BC will be equals to this potential drop across this DC. So we will have I1 R3 is equals to I2 R4, and the voltage drop across this ABC hole will be equals to voltage drop across ADC. So we will have two kind of equation. First one is this I1 R3 is equals to I2 R4, and second equation is like this, by considering the voltage drop across ABC is equals to ADC. So in second equation, we will have voltage drop across this mutual inductance, which is I1 plus I2 multiplied by j omega m, plus the voltage drop across all these three parameters, which is equals to I1 in whole bracket multiplied by R1 multiplied by plus addition of R3 plus j omega L1. That is the voltage drop across this L1, R1 and R3, which is equals to the voltage drop across this ADC. So I2 multiply by in bracket R2 addition with R4 addition with j omega L2. Now from this equation, I1 R3 is equals to I2 R2, we will have the value of I1 and we will substitute the I1 value in this second equation. So in substituting the value of I1, we have taken the common I2. In bracket we will have R4 by R3 plus 1 multiplied by j omega m plus I2 R4 divided by R3 in bracket R1 plus R3 plus j omega L1. It is equals to I2 in whole bracket R2 plus R4 plus j omega L2. Now equating the real terms, we will have this as a real term and this part as a real term. If we multiply this part in with this R1 and R3, we will get this part will get cancelled out, because this is I2 R4 R3. If get multiplied by this term, we will get I2 R4 only. So from here I2 R4 will get directly cancelled out. So equating the real term, we will get, so from the real term we will get R1 is equals to R2 R3 divided by R4. By comparing the imaginary term, we will have our mutual inductance, which is equals to L2 minus of L1 R4 divided by R3 whole divided by R4 by R3 plus 1. If we cross multiply this R3 with our L2 and this R3 in denominator, this R3 by 1, we will get denominator and denominator of upper part and lower part, that is R3, will be get cancelled out. So our mutual inductance will get equals to R3 L2 minus R4 L1 whole divided by R3 plus R4. It is clear from this equation that L1, the self inductance of the secondary of the mutual inductor, must be known in order to find the M. If in this method can be simplified, if this R3 is equals to R4, so we will have our mutual inductance is equals to L2 minus L1 divided by 2, and our R1 is equals to R2. In the second method, for finding a self inductance in terms of mutual inductance by modifying the equations only, we will have our second method for the measurement of self inductance. in which we suppose that L2 is a self-inductance to be known. So from this above two equation, we will get our L2 is equals to M in bracket R3 plus R4 plus in addition R4 L1 whole divided by R3 is equals to M 1 plus R4 by R3 in addition with R4 by R3 multiplied by L1, and our R2 is equals to same like R1 R4 divided by R3 in like sorry, in like second case we have, if we are taking our L2 as an unknown quantity, we will have our R2 as a unknown parameter, so R2 will be equals to R1 R4 by R3, which is same as our equation like 4.33. Now if in this case if we simplify the equation, we will get our R4 is equals to R3, so our L2 will directly equals to two times of mutual inductance between L1 and between L1 in addition with L1, and R2 is equals to R1. So here in this lecture we have studied about our two types for finding the mutual inductance. First with directly with the connection, and second one from the Heaviside bridge method. In our next lecture we will study about Campbell's modification of Heaviside bridge, and third one is Heaviside Campbell's equal ratio bridge for finding the mutual inductance, or with the help of mutual inductance finding the self inductance. They are all interdependent, like if we are taking one of the quantities as unknown, so the other one we will take as a known parameter. So here I'm ending this lecture video. For any queries related to this, you can write me, and the lecture notes will be provided to our college website and in the Google Classroom also. Till now, continue your lectures. Stay healthy, stay safe.